All right, everybody, welcome aboard. Episode number 17. You're with Tommy Williams and the Tommy Williams Show. It's fantastic having you aboard again for another week. That means we made it, folks. We made it. I don't know if it's because of the shot. I don't know if it's because you're being following the CDC regulations and the guidelines. I don't know if it's just in prayer, but we made it, and I'm thankful. I'm thankful that I made it. I'm thankful that we all made it here to this point for another day of the Tommy Williams Show, episode number 14. I have a good show, great show for you actually tonight. I have, or today, depending on what time you're watching this. I have two special guests. One actually is the first guest I'm going to bring on right now. He's a musician, actually out of New Jersey, and his name is Mike Griot. Without further ado, Mike Griot, everybody. A round of applause. Oh, man, and nice to have you. So you're there in Jersey, in my former state, my home state, my wife's home state, and right. It's great having you aboard. Why don't you tell us a little something about yourself, man? What do you do, and what do you do for a living?
So I have been for probably 4 decades a professional touring bass player, and I went from being a bass player to a band leader to a musical director to a event producer, an event producer to a festival producer to a consultant, and I never stopped doing any of the jobs that I just referred to. So now my big basket is kind of full.
Yeah. Well, I could tell by the big basket of smile that you're doing what you love.
Absolutely. And that's probably the important thing.
Yeah. I always have big regrets, man. I used to play back in 5th grade, and I had braces at the time, and I really couldn't get past the scale because I couldn't get through the pain, the pressure on my mouth, and so my parents didn't really force me to do it, and I since had let it up. Maybe I did the first year or two, got past the scale naturally, and did some playing. But when did you start it out, man? What prompted you to get started in music?
Well, I was 7, and my elementary school was offering instrumental music for the first time, and they only offered 3 instruments: violin, viola, and cello. And so I went home, and back in the old days, you had permission slips, right? So I grabbed it off the wall and took it to my mom and said, they're doing this, and she was a very encouraging lady, so she said, okay, we'll give it a try. So I signed up and went to the music room, and there was only 1 violin left when I got there. And
wow.
So I played that, and the lady kind of sat me down and wrapped her arms around me and put the bow in my hand and the whole bit and moved my arm like this. And it was a horrible, horrible experience. It was squeaky. And so I thought that was it. And then as I got up to leave, I remember a little girl walked in with a cello. And I said, what's that? And she said, well, she's obviously bringing this back, and do you want to try it? I did. And that's where I started playing classical cello, and that started everything.
Isn't that something? What an amazing story. Good thing that girl walked in, huh?
Good thing.
Yeah. Things happen amazingly, and it's amazing that we're here to talk about a pandemic. Now, Mike, this is pretty much my my premise, health, wellness, and the pandemic, naturally, how we're moving through this. And it all got started with me and me contracting COVID. And, it was rather difficult for myself. And I utilized the platform to get out here and try to pass along the message and also pass along people's information and their story to others that might be encouraging and hopeful for the world. So what is your relationship with COVID, and have you had it along the way? Have you caught it at all?
Thank God I have not had it.
Good.
And I have pretty much defended against it through just making, I hope, great choices. I did get the vaccine, the first one, a couple of weeks ago. My second one is due next week, and I'm super excited.
That's fantastic. That's fantastic. It should be. So was it a difficult choice for you to make, or did you have to kind of evolve into that decision that you made, or was it like when it came out, you knew you were to jump on board?
Yeah, actually, I didn't really have too much apprehension. I'm not really a big skeptic by nature or conspiracy theorist, and I do believe in science and medicine, and have known a lot of great people of color in those fields. So that being said, I didn't struggle with the decision at all.
Yes, yes, fantastic, man. So now you're in Jersey. What's going on with the local government and schools and things up there?
Still pretty much similar to other places. Not really a return to classrooms. But I mean, I got to tell you, I mean, having kids, a couple of my kids are in Florida. Another one of my kids is in Georgia, and keeping eyes on them and their realities. I will say that there's a part of me that's actually kind of glad that I'm in the Northeast, because, if you've lived here, those of you out in TV land, if you lived here or about the Northeast, you also know that we're sort of military when we decide to do something. We just kind of go about the business of doing it. So I think in that respect, mass adoption has been a lot easier up here because people wear a mask, and
Yes.
and it's not really, I mean, for me, it's not a big deal. I mean, if I want to think of it as another fashion accoutrement, I can do that, but it's
Sure.
smart.
Yeah, that's right, and not to mention it'll save your life. So, yeah, sure. So, I know that you are you busy these days with music and things? Did you have any impact due to the pandemic? Did it impact on your productivity?
Yeah. I mean, I have activities both inside and outside of the entertainment field. In one sense, thank God, because a good portion of my revenue also comes from outside of entertainment ventures. But my entertainment things have not come to a complete halt. I mean, the obvious thing is that like the touring gigs and all the travel related stuff, of course, came to a screeching halt.
Yes.
But I do have relationships with a couple of performing arts centers who, they call me in to kind of talk about how bad things are, ask me if I have any ideas, and so they're struggling too. So the entertainment business is going through a massive moment of self-reflection, like a lot of businesses that deal with audiences in aggregate. So to that extent, I've had to reimagine some of the conversations around sustainability and viability relative to music and entertainment.
Yes, sure. Wow. Well, it sounds like you're kind of navigating yourself through it, just like most, and whether it be through kind of consulting, because it sounds like a lot of people are getting the hang of things, through just conversation. Conversation is so important, I think, and a lot of times, we take for granted the art of conversing and just slowing things down. And I think one thing that's happening through this pandemic is a lot of people are starting to, it's encouraging a lot of people to connect the dots that they may not have thought about. So that's nice that you found your niche within this whole thing, and you've just been kind of stepping across the lake using a variety of different stepping stones, but you're still making it across, and that's fantastic, man. I'm so glad that you're healthy and family's doing well and things like that as well. Absolutely. Fantastic. That's good. Well, certainly is a pleasure having you on the show. I know that we have some music as well, and we're going to make sure we include that. I was going to play it, while we're on and things, but not to eat up your time. I think that the folks would definitely enjoy. Now, tell us what you play. What do you play now currently? What are we going to listen to? You sent some things to my.
Yeah. I sent a playlist which essentially has me playing both electric bass and upright bass in different situations. I think the first clip was a artist that I've known and worked for like over 20 years. His name is Omar, soul singer from London, and that's a fun clip because it's basically we're out. I think we're playing at we were playing at City Winery in DC. I think it was, and I had my phone on the music stand in front of me for about 10 minutes during my favorite part of the show to play, And it's really just 10 minutes of me having too much fun. That's really
Fantastic. Fantastic. Well, I know we're going to look forward to that clip. I'm glad you are able to kind of present that to us. I thank you again for coming on the show. It's great having you. I want to wish you all the best. If there's any takeaways that you can give the audience regarding how you're able to keep upbeat, positive, you seem so jovial and like, I mean, the pandemic's going on. Everybody's affected, but it seems like that you have a good aura and you're moving along in a safe and safety is important as well, because right now I know mental health is a big piece. And so to find somebody who's kind of even keel and not ramped up or recluse or seemingly pissed off all the time, it's kind of difficult. You see a lot of emotion going on out there, and it's like the wires. If you're quiet in the countryside and you listen to the wires, you could hear the electricity come off them. It's almost, you feel the aura coming off the people as you go down the street. So how do you?
I mean, for me, I think the one blessing I have is that, and hopefully for some people, you gain some momentum in your life, spiritually and otherwise, before the pandemic hit. And in my case, I was working very actively for a lot of years to lead a grateful life. And so I went into the pandemic extremely grateful. And that has been like essentially the currency of my happiness, is that gratitude has not diminished. And so now I try to transfer some of that to helping whoever I can. And not showing off and not saying I'm having a great time and you're struggling. That's not what it's about at all. But it is about transferring my gratitude into some sort of tool that can help them, occupy a different place.
Fantastic. Well said. Well, again, I want to thank you very much for taking your time out to come on, Mike Griot. And is there any information that you can give, social media or anything that you want to pass along to the people? We'll have that included in the, I believe it'll be in the credit as well, but if there's anything, nothing wrong with them hearing it second time.
I appreciate it too, and thank you for all you do. You can always catch up to me at P as in Paul, pwimedia.com, and there are a bunch of different links once you get there. You can reach out to me via email at mike@pwimedia.com as well. And I'm just going to wish you and your family and everybody listening, health and wellness.
Thank you.
We will all survive this.
Yes, we shall. Thank you very much, Mike. Again, thanks for coming on the show, man. Mike Griot, ladies and gentlemen. All right.
Yeah.
Hey, everybody. Your host, Tommy Williams, back at you. Well, I hope you enjoyed that first guest we had, Mike Griot. Fantastic guy, great energy, great, nice and calm. These musicians that we have on are just like, their takeaway is their energy. You know what I mean? It's like from Danny to the percussionist that we've had on, and everybody, that they seem so cool. It's like, you think about jazz, you think about musicians, and they are them. The only thing that they're missing so far is I haven't seen the tam. Like a real. Well, yeah, it's gonna get that. But that's so old school, I guess. I don't know. At any rate, I want to bring on my second guest. His name is Eric Hawkins. He's out of Jersey as well. He's involved with so many things, and I don't even want to begin to delve into what the fella's into. But he's a fantastic person, very much of a role model for kids and adults alike. And without further ado, Eric Hawkins, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much. Eric, man, this is Eric Hawkins, ladies and gentlemen. Eric, why don't you tell everybody what you do for a living, man?
What I do for a living? Well,
just introduce yourself. Not so much what you do, but who are you?
Who is Eric Hawkins? Let's see. I'd like to say a middle-aged man, born to live my life. Basically, I've gone through two career paths. In my early 20s, I was in law enforcement, state law enforcement, did that for 5 years, decided it wasn't for me. So looked to broaden some new horizons, went full circle, came back to a career path that I never thought I would be in, which was education. And I've been in education now close to 20 years. Over the last 7 years, part-time as an adjunct professor. But I will tell you, in the interim, somewhere in that mix, about 15 years ago, I was introduced to an incredible world called travel. And here I am today.
And here you are today. Fantastic. Well, that's a beautiful thing, man. And quite a story. Renaissance man. You've done so many things, and all of which you move with a passion. I tell you, I've known Eric for quite some time. I'd say about a good 25 years going on. If not that, about 20 years, I'd say at least.
Right.
20 good ones. Fantastic fella. And like I said, a great role model as well. Eric's up in, he's out in PA, right?
I'm in the Poconos mostly. That's my official residence, but I like to move around. Obviously that's because I'm in the travel industry. But let me back up once and just say to you, thank you for having me here. I really appreciate being a part of this platform, sir. And I love what you're doing.
Thank you so much, man. Thank you so much. I love talking, man. This is great. And then, on top of that, with, the loss of my mother, man, and then having COVID back in October, so many things that they were my turbines, and just pushed me out here. Ready or not, here I am. And so it's been fantastic. This is so much therapy for me as well, just be able to talk to people and be out, through social media. The pandemic has really shaken a lot of people up. A lot of people that are in the entertainment industry, we really haven't delved in, but we're looking forward to, turning different corners. And as we go, we're creeping along because I have this relationship for a little while with them. Hopefully it'll all be ongoing. Big shout out to Lux Media for making this all possible. Thank you very much, Lux Media Lux Media Studios. So, I just want to say it's great having you. And so what's going on? Okay, the Poconos. When I think of Poconos, I'm thinking kind of suburban, and what's going on with the school systems out there, man? I mean, you do have social distance. It's not the metropolitan area, but are school systems shut down out there in Poconos too?
Well, I will tell you that the status of COVID in the Pocono area of Pennsylvania, there were some areas of Pennsylvania that were hit very hard. The Pocono area has never been that area. So they are in school. They've been back in school since they lifted, that sanction that no kids were in school. So they are back in school. Of course, social distancing as well. But I will tell you, restaurants have been up and running in the Pennsylvania area minimally for about 6 months. Okay. So they are probably about 4 to 6 months ahead of everywhere else, all the metropolitan areas and things of that nature. So thank God things have been, pretty civil up there throughout this pandemic.
Good. Well, adverse here in South Florida. South Florida is going berserk right now. I hate to mention it, hate to talk about it even, but that is the case. They have the spring break going on right now, and the spring breakers are absolutely losing their minds. I guess, the students, or most who are students, or should I say a percentage that are students, they haven't been away from home, or they've been away from home, or maybe some haven't been away from home. They've been, social distancing, in front of laptops and things, and now here they are. They just, have carte blanche to kind of do what they want, and they've been just going absolutely crazy, right. At least, and with disregard to all property, all homeowners, and everything down here on the news every day, without, getting too political and things. But I do look forward to having one of our Miami's finest, coming on and actually, kind of surfacing through what's going on. And I'm looking forward to having that probably next week at the close, once the students all return and things, the aftermath, find out what the damage control. But, had you gone through COVID yourself? Had you experience with COVID?
I honestly can sit here and say, thank God I have not. I've heard some horror stories. I do have several friends and actually one family member, my son and his fiance, were diagnosed about 3 weeks ago and had the mild symptoms, nothing major. They both went through their quarantine and they're done. Other than that, just some close friends and a couple of family members, but no one ever in a very, very serious or dire situation. Good. So I'll be honest, that's been my prayer throughout, to just put a hedge of protection. So no, I have not.
That's great. That's two guests in a row, actually, that haven't had it. I know one of my first guests that I had on, she was a long hauler, and now they've, and I'm thankful that I would actually see if I can get her back on here to do a checkup on her. Long haulers are people that have gone through the symptoms of COVID, had COVID, gone through the symptoms, and never stopped having the symptoms. So they're
Wow.
ongoing symptoms, and they're trying to figure out now, okay, well, what happens? How do we treat them? What's going to happen with them? So the government actually came up with a budget for research to be done for those long haulers to get the attention that they need, instead of just leaving them the way they are and try to figure out what's the problem and try to get them re-engaged to a healthy state.
Right.
And for the fight like everybody else. I don't even think a vaccine is something that they would need right now, because you need to have from my understanding, you need to have a negative test before you can get the vaccine.
Vaccine, right.
So, but I'm not too sure. We're going to find out as we move forward with all this conversation.
Right.
So,
thanks for that new term you just gave me, long hauler. I thought you were talking about a truck driver. I didn't realize that
they're in for the long haul, man. They're in for the long haul, man. And then asymptomatic, which I was asymptomatic. So I had a lot of pain, a lot of fatigue, headaches were crazy. A lot of, did I have congestion? No, but I had a heavy cough. The cough was ridiculous. And I never had a temperature. So, the key thing in most places where they do temperature. So I never had a temperature. They always said, welcome, come on in. And meanwhile, I'm coming to the door. Oh, that's just a scratchy throat. I don't know what's wrong with me. And then they would welcome in the super spreader. So a good thing, I actually got diagnosed early when I felt the symptoms coming on, or something was happening. And so I was able to quarantine and take the time out that I needed to get myself back on track. And it was rough, but managed to do it. Thank God.
Right.
But it definitely knocks the wind right out of you. You know how I like to exercise and train and do all that stuff, man. I couldn't ride my bicycle 50 feet without getting off and having to walk back home. Couldn't even go on a ride. I had to come home. Yeah. And it was crazy. I couldn't figure it out. And it's scary because, hey, man, we've been around, half a decade and half a century, half a decade. Wouldn't that be nice? Half a century. Him, the lollipop kid. but so, geez. So here we are. And I was saying, what's going to happen? Did I do all this for naught? Am I going to recover from this, or is this the way it'll be left as a long hauler? So yeah, man, it gets very scary. So your industry, has anything changed because of COVID? Have you had to reshape or recalibrate, your sales angle on how you approach things?
Well, obviously travel across the board took a huge hit, especially last year, from the onstart, really where it started in March. And I would say all the way until they kind of lightened things up in September, October-ish, people did begin to travel and haven't stopped. I will tell you that I have a trip going out next month. A couple who booked this, and they booked this way back in December. They're going to Mexico. Okay. Originally, they were supposed to be going on a cruise, but a lot of my partners have been traveling. Most of the travel destinations, the favorite destinations, have been Jamaica, have been Mexico. My brother and his family just got back from Aruba. So a lot of the Caribbean, Puerto Rico, a lot of the Caribbean destinations are open. However, they all require one thing. You either have to take that COVID test when you get there and wait for it, quarantine while you wait for it, or when you get on that plane, you better have a 48-hour negative in order to travel. But overall, travel did slow down. I mean, looking at the cruise lines, the CDC approved cruises going out 6 months ago. yet
Gee.
no cruise has gone out. But
Yeah.
the CDC officially approved that 6 months ago. So
Wow.
cruises can, begin to take passengers to their destinations, but they're still waiting. I guess they're putting all the safety protocols in place.
Yeah, because once they lift it, then the liability becomes on. It's on you. I mean, so I would imagine, right, that on the operators at that point,
Well,
it's like okay,
it's on the companies.
it's on the
So if
companies,
something
right? Yeah.
happens, absolutely.
Yeah, so they want to take their time, make sure everything's in place. Makes
Yeah.
sense. Well, that's comforting. So what about those destinations once they get there? They're doing all this stuff. Do you know any of the numbers? Like Aruba, I know I had somebody who came on a while ago and he was talking about Aruba and said that the numbers were relatively low there. And I know Bahamas, I think they're low. But what goes on? I mean, do you look from
I do.
okay.
I do.
You look at them going to a safe place. Just, go on a trip. Okay, I got you. Write you up.
Right. No, well, I'm actually going to be traveling. I'm taking my first trip at the end of next month, this April, next month. And I've looked at the COVID numbers in San Juan, and they are very minimal. I mean, 0 cases a day most of the time. But if there are cases during the day, it's typically anywhere from 1 to 25 cases. And the resorts out there are being very, very cautious. Again, if you don't have at least a 48-hour COVID test, then you have to quarantine. You have to take the COVID test when you get there and quarantine until the results come back. So if you're there for 5 days and it doesn't come back for 2 days, you're in your room for 2 days. But no, I do look. If any of my clients inquire about a destination, I had one of my clients that was looking to go to South Africa with his family right after Christmas through New Year's, actually to Cape Town. So I actually looked up those numbers. So anytime somebody comes to me and asks about a specific destination, I do whatever research I need to do because I want to make sure they understand that during this time frame, this is what it is.
Yeah.
But I will tell you, most of the out of the country travel, Caribbean destinations have been the go-to place. And I don't know if you have, but I haven't heard many horror stories about those destinations.
No, I haven't. I really haven't. So, so now, you managed to be unscathed from COVID, which is fantastic. Do you do any supplements or anything like that, or to like daily? I know my wife and I, we do elderberry and stuff like that, and sea moss. We did it one time when we were going through for the symptoms and things. That kind of trailed off. But is there anything that you do to keep yourself preserved and antibodied up?
Absolutely. I actually on a product which is fruits, vegetables, and berries that I take daily. That pretty much allows for me to get my daily intake of all of those. Where or how can I get that without that whole food, nutrition that I'm providing myself with is very difficult. So that has been a great help. I'm doing a vegan omega, which has been a great help as well. And just really staying more plant-based and whole food. I will tell you that at 52, I'm sharing my age, that at 52, I need all I can get. So just staying active and added a new hobby to help me with the exercise piece, and that's golf. So the physical fitness as well as the nutrition has certainly been a plus for me.
Yeah. That's super, man. That's super. And it's off dividends. So that supplement, that's good to have a supplement because then you don't have to chase down all the fruit and worry about the shelf life and all that stuff. But you have it all packed up in a pill. That's
right.
helping.
Well, let me just take that supplement word out. It's whole food nutrition. It's not even a supplement. It has a label on it that speaks to the fact that it's food. So it's not a supplement element. So that has helped tremendously.
Yeah. Does it fill you up? Does it have any content to it? Like, does it fill a void?
They have a protein shake that I use for a meal supplement. So that fills me up. And again, everything's all natural, all vegan, a lot of grains and things of that nature in the the protein shake itself.
Hmm.
So I'm just really staying proactive and being intentional about staying healthy and making my way through
Yeah.
these times.
Well, and I know now is definitely a time when, people need to be put their investigator hats on and figure out what exactly they need to fill themselves up, because if we're not just dealing with the day-to-day, everybody, we're dealing with COVID and just another day.
Right.
We have to make sure that we're making smart moves and choices for ourselves and our families. So I encourage you all to look out there. There's plenty of things out there. There's some things, just like Eric was saying, there's some things out there with grains, with the fruit and all the things that are research-based that will definitely help you out. If you're not a huge, fanatic on health, there are some things out there that can, cut corners, but still give you what your body needs and keep you fortified. So I would encourage you all to look out and seek out those people or those type of programs that are out there for you. Eric, is there any way that people can reach you or?
Well, I'm on Facebook.
Okay.
I am on Facebook and I am on IG.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm Eric Hawkins.
Eric Hawkins
on Facebook.
Yeah.
It'll say profession. It'll say Keene University. And IG, it's just under Hawkins Eric. And that's my link there for IG. So those are primarily the two platforms I use. No more MySpace and Twitter for me.
You keep it business, and at the same time, hey man, it's necessary. These are things that are very specific. As you get older, you kind of trim the layers, don't you? It's crazy, man.
Absolutely, you have to.
You got to, man. You find out exactly, and even friends and things like that. You're just like, this. I don't have time anymore. I just don't have time. I tell you, man.
Right.
Wait till you turn 53, man. It's really change your life.
Well, I'll be there in about 3 months.
Okay. Hopefully I'll be here waiting for you, but 3 months. Oh yeah, I'll still be 53. All right. Yeah, mine's September, man. So I'll leave the light on for you. Yeah, man.
When I get down to your neck of the woods, I got to get you out there on the golf course with me. I'll be out there in June.
Oh, that sounds great, man. I definitely need to get my game together. I went out to Boca, man. They had some nice out there at Breakers too, man. And I'm a mess out there. I'm a disaster. But I dress up nicely. People say, hey, man, you really come out here, all my Tiger Woods stuff on and everything is nice. They say, oh, geez. Ball goes all over the place, man. I'd be like the guy going in there with the draws, Who's that guy who played in the water, right?
Yeah. That's always interesting.
Cracking up. Yep. So listen, it's nice having you on, Eric. I'm glad that you took time out. It's good just to have a conversation with some people who are going through COVID. I mean, it sounds like, it just sounds like a win-win situation for you, fella. You kind of figured things out. You figured out, life goes on, you have your family and you don't, thank goodness, you don't know of too many cases that are out there and people, passing away and things of that nature. I'll tell you, it's not fun, man. I know a whole fleet of people who had passed away, and the more it was a wave. I don't really get as many calls as I used to, and I'm thinking that maybe it's because of scientific research. It's because people taking things seriously. I know early on people were just cavalier about it. Won't be me. I never took that approach, really and truly. As much as I train and do everything else, I know that you're just a touch away from catching it.
Right.
You go and get tested. You leave and say, "Fantastic, I don't have it," and hold the door open, and then you have it.
Right.
And you don't know it for a certain time. It happened to me. I believe. I got tested. Went up to the Bronx to get my dog with Nita, and we got tested. The week prior to, the test results came back negative. We boarded the flight, went on up there, and then my symptoms started kicking in horribly. It's like a light switch just comes on, and then bam, I'm with all the symptoms, and there I was, up there on vacation / going to get a dog, and my wife's birthday time, and I was in bad shape, man. We came back, went straight to the doctor, and we had COVID. So it was rough. And then we were knocked out for like 16, maybe 18 days.
Right.
But it's a game changer. But hopefully we'll be through there. Did you say you got the vaccination, or what do you plan on doing?
I am now scheduled for April the 4th or 5th, I believe. I just got my. So I will be doing the vaccination. I think I'll be doing the Moderna. My entire family has been vaccinated. Mom, Dad. Mom just turned 81 today. My brothers. So, I'm the last. I'm the last of the Mohicans. So I will be. Getting that vaccination.
Good. That's fantastic, man. And like they said, any shot is the best shot. Any shot is the right shot, because you have to, nothing's really totally proven. We need time.
Right.
You can do all the science they want, man, but we're not going to know anything until we see what happens over time. So, I wish you well with that, man. You definitely, eat some more, pump up that shoulder, man, because that needle I heard is like,
yeah, that's never bothered me. I can actually look. I'm just like, oh, okay. So how you doing? Never been phased. I'm just one of those. Yeah, it's never bothered me.
Yeah, neither goes berserk.
Yeah. Oh wow. But I want to tell you, brother, you look great. You certainly, you've gone through a lot, but I again appreciate you having me here, and you look amazing. And
thanks. I
keep up what you're doing out here.
Yeah, it's all about mental health at this point, man, because everybody can smile, everybody
Absolutely.
can smile, but at the end of the day, how you really doing,
Right.
And that's what it's all about. But so nice, man. It seems like we're both intact, and I hope that we can both preserve ourselves till the next time we see one another again, man. I want to wish you and your family all the best, and all the best with the shot. I know everything's gonna be successful. We'll see you on the other side.
Posted on it.
Will do, man. Sounds great.
Yeah.
You take care, man. Take care. God bless. All right.
Thanks for having me, Tommy. God bless.
You got it, E. All right.
Peace.
Okay, folks. Well, we've had two fantastic guests. We've had Mike Griot and we had Eric Hawkins come on. Two same but different individuals. I'll tell you, same in that they were positive energy, great people. Oh my gosh, it's just a thrill. What a real treat this is, just to be able to close out my day, because this case it's evening time here for me, but to close out my day and look forward to having great conversation with people, and learn something at the same time. Life's about education and giving out information as well, and to be able to do the both, and look forward to it each and every week is just wonderful. Again, I really want to thank the people of Lux Media Studios for giving me the opportunity, for giving you all the opportunity to respond in many ways. I've seen, messages and things, and I received messages on the show, and to see how you all like it, how you all feel as though I can reshape things, or some advice you have. But everybody's been very supportive, and thank you so much. Again, you can find me on social media at YouTube with Tommy Williams on YouTube, and I'm right there, all about positive vibes. That's pretty much my content, positive vibes. We do everything from just sharing and caring to topical discussions and things. It's plenty of content. I mean, I can't even begin. We also have what's known as the super cats. So you have the Tommy cats when you come in. You just are a member of. You just come in and you're affiliated with the channel. But the members actually are the super cats. They're the strong members, and we actually do Zooms each weekend. We talk further about how to strengthen the channel. Also, we do cooking demos, and we do exercising. I present exercises for the group. We do each month we do a program for diet and nutrition, health and wellness. I have different people coming on talking about health and wellness, mental health, and just trying to keep people happy in the eye of this pandemic. And I want to wish you all till the next week. Wonderful week. Have a great weekend. And, take care of yourself, and God bless. We'll see you on the next go around. Take care, everybody. Thanks for watching the Tommy Williams Show. Bye-bye.
Now, glutathione is a big word, but it's the body's own master antioxidant. So it's a scavenger for free radicals, for bacteria, and what's relevant now, viruses. This is new to the marketplace. There's no other product on the market that has the ingredient NACET.
And basically NACET increases the production of that glutathione that is in our body already to strengthen and enhance our immune system and keep it strong. Elevated sense of well-being. Supports muscle strength and endurance. Cognitive function. Powerful liver support. Energy. Helps blood sugar regulation. Superior bioavailability of key ingredients.
One of your best defenses against COVID is a strong immune system. Taking GSH Plus as a daily supplement does all that. And now we have the product out on the marketplace.